Okay, so before we start the video off, I want to point out that YouTube is doing a mass unsubscription again. A lot of other channels are talking about it, so you've probably heard this before. So make sure you're still subscribed. Just check. A couple people in the comments recently have told me that they were unsubbed and they happened to resub, because you usually will still see videos in your recommendations despite YouTube doing this, and then eventually they just go away. So just take a moment, take a look, or also subscribe if you're new. So anyway, let's get to the matter at hand. Now, this has been a weird couple of weeks, okay? We've had the Joker, Batwoman, Watchmen, and one thing is really telling to me out of all of these situations, that critics and journalists are losing power with the masses of people. Now, they still have a lot of power with company. They can definitely get companies and developers to bend the knee. They've done it with YouTube a few times. See the recent adpocalypse that happened over the summer. And a lot of channels that have been getting deplatformed left and right. But at least with entertainment and people, they have no influence. Now, it would be nice if companies would go ahead and ignore them as well, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen anytime soon. Now, I like to point this out because what'd they do? Batwoman and the Joker and Watchmen. Now, Watchmen and Batwoman, they push up like they're the greatest thing since sliced bread. And if you don't like them, you're toxic. But it doesn't work. They can't force you to watch this garbage. Why? And I'll never understand why. You have these comic book pieces of entertainment, and let's point out who the main demographic is. It's dudes of a certain type. And you're going to go ahead and tell them that they're garbage and pieces of crap. And you expect them to sit there and find the show entertaining. I don't quite understand that. I watched a video by just some guy, came out pretty good, where he said it's time to start gatekeeping. You know, when these people come into our communities, kick them out. And I think he had a really good point there. Get them out of here, because all they do is ruin it. All they do is ruin everything they touch. And they're doing it to comic book stuff right now. Now, the Joker is the exception there. And here's something I wanted to highlight. So we go to Rotten Tomatoes, where we see Batwoman Season 1. Here's the divide. Look at this. This is beautiful. 71%. Critics love it. You go to the audience score, we're at 12%. And then you see it with Watchmen here. All right, that's a big disaster as well. I don't see where, you read the Watchmen graphic novels and come to the strange conclusion that it's somehow supposed to be about taking down white people. I don't quite get that, but, we are in the woke days. So that's another property destroyed thanks to them. But look at that. They can praise it, say it's great. Look at that audience score. And then you go to the greatness, the spectacular Joker. 69% tomato meter there amongst critics. It's pretty low, a little higher than I would expect. It's gone up a little bit. You see here it's at 69, almost on par with Batwoman. However, I do want to point out for the longest time this was at 50. So it's gone up a little bit recently, and it's much higher. Look at that total count at 500. This is only among 87, and Woke Woman is at 41%. Look at the audience score here, 89%. They have no power anymore. If anything, all they do is give us, the YouTubers, something to make fun of and give you guys a little bit of entertainment. Now, the Joker is a really good example of how much power these people have lost. Because let me tell you, if you're a fan of my channel, and probably channels that are similar to mine, you've seen a lot of people talk about how recently, the critics and the media and the woke journalists, all of them came out hard on the Joker. They went crazy on it. All kinds of crazy stuff. Poking the bear, saying that this movie was going to cause a revolution or something, and people were going to go insane and go after people in movie theaters, and they caused police to be at movie theaters for the opening day. Nothing happened. But they went after this movie so hard that I think that there was a backlash and a Streisand effect, and it caused people to go see this movie in droves. In fact, I think they were the movie's biggest promoters, to be honest, because all they did was bring so much attention to it. People wanted to see what all the fuss was about, and they went and saw the movie. In fact, it's doing so well, people are going to see it repeated times. I saw today on Clownfish's channel They were talking about that it might end up being number one again this weekend. That's insane. And it's now shown that there's a market, which is great for R-rated movies, and it's now become the biggest R-rated movie ever, which I think is fantastic news, because I got to tell you, I'd love to see more movies like Joker. I'd love to see more experimental comic book movies, movies that are self-contained, that don't have to deal with any of these big universes, that you can just go watch and enjoy. Movies that have something to say. I would love to see that. And in fact, I don't think I'm alone, because the movie's on track to make nearly as much as Avengers Infinity War. Now, here's the thing. Joker versus Infinity War. Here's the difference. Joker's already made more money, probably, if you think about it, than Infinity War, because Joker's budget wasn't very big. I would say the most expensive thing for that movie was probably hiring De Niro and Joaquin Phoenix. Those were probably the most expensive things for that movie. Because if you think about it, there wasn't a lot of CGI. Okay. The biggest thing is they had to go buy old cars for the movie, because they did, they have the old metal cars. So you had to make the time period. That was probably the most expensive thing for that movie, which is saying a lot. So you already have a movie that cost, if even a quarter of what it cost to make Avengers Infinity War. And rumors are suggesting the movie's going to probably pull in $1 billion. But the funny thing about that is they still keep going after this movie. Every little thing that they can nitpick on this movie for, they do it. Take this, for example, from Wired. Joker stares and the problem with meme tourism. So there's a scene in the Bronx, where he's doing this dance on the stairs. If you've seen the movie, I would assume you probably have, because the movie's made a ton of money, where he's dancing on the stairs before he's about to go to Robert De Niro's show, The Murray Show, I believe it was called. And because of that, people are going to the Bronx and taking pictures of themselves on the stairs. And I guess it's making people in the area mad, because people are going there and taking their pictures and taking off, and they're not hanging out in the Bronx and spending money. I would doubt that's totally true. I would imagine a lot of people probably do go eat or do something in the area after they take the pictures, but they're just going to say people are annoyed. Every time there's a crime in the area of the movie, they report it. Remember, I did an article about how people were smoking cigarettes in the movie theater for the Joker. Somebody, of course, with multiple articles written on it. They keep going after this movie. And what does that do? Well, it does this. Like I was saying, Joker and Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, and fight for number one with 18 million plus during Sleepy pre-Halloween weekend. So now the movie is going to be number one again, like I was saying, and they just keep on keeping on. And I think what it is, and why you keep seeing them still attack it, is because they're just like, wow, we have no power anymore. I mean, why do you think they want to come after YouTubers and always demonize YouTubers? YouTubers are sending people down a radical hole. They're ruining people. They're ruining people. They're ruining culture. They're mad because they don't have any power anymore. Why do you think you see people's channels like Neurotic and Comic Artist Pro Secrets and all these channels like Clownfish and mine and so many others taking off right now? It's because people would rather go watch YouTubers who are genuine and give real opinions than some fake woke-divist garbage journalist, who sits there with their neckbeards, hanging out in California while they walk in poop on the streets of San Diego because they don't even know how to write policies, where they don't want to write having people cleaning up poop because it might offend somebody. It might offend people to have that poop cleaned up or whatever. These people are crazy. No one cares about them anymore. But, they're going to force you to care about them. Why do you think YouTube's doing this purge and stuff? It's the bout of these people. It's the bout of them. And I don't understand it. Look at the Quartering. He can't even get interviews on his channel. He had something with Tim Sweeney lined up. What happens? Oh, you get all these journalists coming out and dogpiling Tim Sweeney, and he's forced to back down because, the Quartering's opinions don't match up with those woke journalists. These people's power is diminishing. I think if more movies like The Joker rise up and make money, maybe, just maybe, companies will start ignoring them. Maybe they'll start pushing up YouTubers and we can have a change, because I don't know how we get rid of the woke journalists. I really don't. But I think we can be a little bit glad that they are at least losing tons of power with the mainstream, with people. It was really great to see their champions, Watchmen and Batwoman, just crumble to reviews. And for them, all the attacking they did to Joker, look at it now. It's going to make more money. It's going to make more money than Avengers, which I think is amazing. So anyway, I think this is great news. This is a great thing. And hopefully it'll translate to their power losing, with them losing power with companies. That's the next step. And if that happens, they're done. They're done. And then maybe, just maybe, we can all go back to enjoying the things we love. Anyway, like and subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Share the video. Leave comments. Let me know what you're thinking about them losing power. What do you think it's going to take for companies to ignore them? And that's it. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.